Welcome to Cats for Sleep. Now that you're here, your body is subconsciously relaxing. Learning about the soft, comforting nature of cats will allow even the most stressed of us to loosen our grip on the day and ease into a quieter, more settled state. Tonight, we're going to spend some quiet time with a sound many people already know well. A sound that often arrives subtly. A sound that does not ask for attention, yet somehow fills a space anyway. The sound of a cat purring. You don't need to focus closely. You don't need to remember anything. There's nothing here to figure out or hold on to. This is simply a place to rest while we gently explore one of the most familiar and often most comforting sounds in the lives of cats and the people who live alongside them. Purring is something many of us recognize instantly. Sometimes it's barely audible. Sometimes it's felt more than heard. Sometimes it's a steady presence beneath a hand, a blanket, or the quiet of a room late at night. For this time together, purring isn't something to analyze or interpret. It's something to settle into. As you listen, you might notice your breathing slow without effort. You might notice your attention soften. Or you might simply let the sound exist in the background of your mind, like distant rain or a low hum from far away. If you're listening with a cat nearby, you're welcome to let them be exactly where they are. If you don't have a cat, that's completely fine too. Purring has a way of carrying comfort even through memory and imagination. Throughout this episode, we'll gently explore how purring is made, when it appears, and why it has remained such a constant presence across a cat's life. We'll move slowly. We'll stay grounded. And as time passes, the details will matter less than the feeling they leave behind. If you find yourself enjoying Cats for Sleep, you're always welcome to join us again by subscribing. These episodes are here whenever you need something calm to return to. For now, there's nothing you need to do. Just allow the pace to slow. Allow the sound of purring to take its time. We'll begin gently with the sound itself. Most people don't need to be taught what a purr is. The moment it begins, something familiar settles in the body, often before the mind has time to name it. There's no need to identify the sound. No need to trace where it's coming from. It simply arrives. A purr doesn't announce itself. It doesn't rise suddenly or break the quiet. It blends into the room so smoothly that it can feel as though it has always been there, waiting patiently to be noticed. For many people, the memory of a purr is tied to stillness. A cat resting at the edge of a bed, curled beside a leg on the couch, tucked into the small space between warmth and quiet at the end of the day. The sound itself is soft but steady, not fragile, not fleeting. It doesn't flicker in and out. It holds a gentle line, moment after moment, without asking anything in return. Some purrs are barely audible. You might only notice them when everything else grows quiet enough to make room for them. In those moments, the sound feels almost private, as though it's meant only for the space you're in. Other purrs are more physical. They travel through a hand resting on fur, through fabric, through the subtle vibration of a chest rising and falling. In those cases, the sound is something you feel rather than hear. A low, continuous movement that doesn't change much from one moment to the next. There's a particular comfort in that consistency. Many sounds in daily life demand attention. They rise and fall, they interrupt, they signal that something needs to be done. A purr does none of this. It doesn't carry urgency. It doesn't escalate. It doesn't sharpen itself to be noticed. Instead, it remains even, predictable, contained. Cats don't purr for the room. They don't purr for an audience. The sound stays close to their bodies, meant for those already nearby. This closeness matters. Purring isn't designed to travel across distance. It lives in quiet spaces, in moments when movement has slowed and nothing else is competing for attention. This is why purring often appears at night, or in the early morning, or during those in-between hours when the day has ended but sleep hasn't fully arrived yet. In these moments, the sound feels like part of the environment rather than a separate event. Like rain against a window, like the low hum of something steady in the background. Many people notice that they don't actively listen to a purr. They register it without effort. It enters awareness gently, then fades into the background again. That's part of its nature. A purr doesn't need focus to be effective. It doesn't require interpretation. It doesn't change meaning depending on how closely you listen. You can notice it for a moment, then let it go. Or you can allow it to remain in the background while your attention drifts elsewhere. Both are fine. For some, the sound of a purr carries memory, a sense of safety learned long ago, a reminder of shared space and quiet companionship. For others, it's simply a pleasant vibration with no story attached. Just a sound that feels calm without needing explanation. Neither experience is more correct than the other. What matters is that the sound does not demand anything from you. You don't need to respond to it. You don't need to stay alert for changes. You don't need to decide what it means. A purr is content to exist on its own. It doesn't rush toward a conclusion. It doesn't build toward a climax. It remains where it is, moment after moment, without impatience. As you sit or lie here now, you might notice how rare that kind of sound is. A sound that doesn't ask to be followed. A sound that doesn't pull you forward in time. It stays with the present moment. If your attention drifts while listening, that's perfectly natural. If your thoughts wander, they're welcome to do so. The purr doesn't mind. It continues whether you're listening closely or barely at all. And as the sound continues, something subtle often happens. Breathing begins to mirror its steadiness. Muscles release their grip without being told to. Not because the sound is doing something to you, simply because nothing around you is asking for tension anymore. In the next section, we'll gently explore what's happening inside a cat's body when this sound begins to form. There's no need to hold on to the details. They can pass by just like the sound itself. For now, let the purr remain what it already is. Familiar, steady, and content to stay exactly where it is. When a cat begins to purr, nothing dramatic shifts on the surface. There's no visible signal that something complex has started happening inside the body. And yet, beneath the quiet stillness, a very precise physical pattern begins to form. At its simplest level, a purr is a vibration, a gentle, repeating movement that travels through a cat's body and into the space around them. This vibration happens at a slow, steady pace. Most commonly, it occurs around 25 to 30 cycles each second. That number doesn't need to be remembered. What matters is the rhythm. It's slow enough to feel grounding, fast enough to remain continuous, even enough to stay predictable from one moment to the next. The source of this vibration is the larynx. The larynx sits in the throat and is involved in many of the sounds a cat can make: meows, chirps, growls. But purring is different from all of these. When a cat purrs, small muscles within the larynx begin to move in a rhythmic pattern. These movements cause the vocal folds to gently open and close over and over again. Each opening and closing creates a tiny pulse of sound. On their own, these pulses would be easy to miss. But when they repeat steadily, without interruption, they blend together into a continuous vibration. That vibration is the purr. What makes this sound especially unique is how it interacts with breathing. Most vocal sounds only occur while air is moving in one direction, either during an inhale or an exhale. A purr continues through both. As a cat breathes in, the vibration remains. As the breath moves out again, it continues without pause. This happens because the muscles of the larynx and the muscles involved in breathing work together. They fall into a shared rhythm. The diaphragm helps regulate airflow so the vibration stays smooth. The vocal folds maintain their steady movement. The sound remains even, moment after moment. There's no need for effort. This pattern doesn't require conscious control. A cat doesn't decide to hold the rhythm in place. Instead, the body settles into it automatically. Within the cat's nervous system, signals move from the brain to the muscles of the larynx in a regular pattern. These signals help pace the opening and closing of the vocal folds. Researchers often describe this pacing as coming from a rhythmic neural process, a steady internal timing signal that keeps the movement consistent. Once the rhythm begins, it tends to sustain itself easily. The anatomy of a cat's vocal folds supports this. Cats have specialized connective tissue within their vocal folds that allows them to vibrate at low frequencies without strain. This tissue acts like a cushion, absorbing movement while maintaining shape. Because of this structure, the larynx is naturally suited to purring. In laboratory settings, researchers have observed that even an isolated cat larynx can vibrate at purring frequencies when airflow passes through it. This shows how deeply the ability to purr is built into the physical structure of the cat. In daily life, of course, the full system is intact. The brain, the nerves, the muscles, and the breath all work together. If the larynx cannot move properly, purring stops. If the neural signals are disrupted, the rhythm fades. This tells us that purring depends on the whole system being present and coordinated. What's remarkable is how quietly all of this happens. There's no visible effort, no sign that anything complicated is taking place. From the outside, a purring cat often looks completely at rest, and in a way, they are. The body has found a pattern that feels stable enough to hold without tension, a rhythm that doesn't need adjustment. For someone listening, none of this detail needs to be followed closely. You don't need to picture muscles or nerves. You don't need to imagine airflow or timing signals. The purpose of understanding what a purr physically isn't to analyze it. It's simply to notice how much steadiness exists beneath something so soft. A purr isn't accidental. It isn't fragile. It's a sound supported by structure, rhythm, and balance. As you rest here, you might notice how that steadiness carries through the sound itself. How little it changes. How little it asks from the listener. In the next section, we'll move gently into how breathing and rhythm work together to keep a purr continuous. There's nothing you need to remember from this section. The details can settle and fade on their own. For now, the important thing is simply this. A purr is a quiet rhythm held effortlessly by a body at ease. And that rhythm continues, whether anyone is paying attention to it or not. When a cat purrs, the sound seems to come from everywhere at once. It can feel as though it fills the chest, the throat, and even the space around the body. But the physical center of this sound is a small structure tucked quietly in the neck, the larynx. The larynx is often called the voice box, though in cats it does much more than produce obvious vocal sounds. It acts as a meeting place where breath, muscle movement, and vibration come together in a coordinated way. Inside the larynx are the vocal folds. These are soft, flexible tissues that can move, stretch, and vibrate. In many animals, vocal folds are used to produce sounds that change quickly. Calls, warnings, signals meant to travel. Purring uses these same tissues, but in a very different manner. Instead of opening wide for bursts of sound, the vocal folds move in small rhythmic motions. They open slightly. They close gently, again and again. Each movement is subtle. Each cycle is nearly identical to the last. On their own, these motions would be almost imperceptible. But because they repeat at a steady pace, they create a continuous vibration. This vibration becomes the foundation of the purr. The muscles that control the vocal folds are capable of extremely fine movement. They don't rush. They don't strain. They settle into a rhythm that can be held for long periods without fatigue. This is part of what makes purring feel so effortless. The larynx is not forcing sound outward. It isn't amplifying. It isn't projecting. It's maintaining a contained motion, supported by breath and structure. The shape and tissue composition of a cat's larynx are especially well suited to this kind of movement. Within the vocal folds, cats have layers of connective tissue that allow vibration at low frequencies. These tissues provide both flexibility and support. They absorb movement without collapsing. They return to shape without resistance. Because of this, the vocal folds can vibrate steadily without needing constant adjustment. Airflow from the lungs passes through the larynx at a controlled rate. The vocal folds respond by moving rhythmically, not dramatically. There is no sudden push of air, no sharp release. The sound remains even. One of the most distinctive features of purring is that it continues during both breathing phases. Inhale, exhale. The larynx maintains its rhythm across both. This requires careful coordination. The muscles of the larynx do not work in isolation. They respond to signals from the nervous system that keep the timing consistent. The diaphragm supports this by regulating how air moves through the throat. Breath does not interrupt the vibration. It carries it. When everything is aligned, the larynx becomes a quiet stabilizer. It holds the sound in place. Research has shown that if the larynx cannot move properly, purring cannot occur. When the muscles are immobilized or the nerves disrupted, the vibration fades. This confirms that the larynx is essential to the process. It is not simply a passive channel. It is an active participant. At the same time, the larynx does not work alone. Its movements are guided by signals from the brain that provide timing rather than instruction. Once the rhythm is established, it does not require conscious oversight. This allows purring to occur during rest, during sleep-like states, during moments when attention is elsewhere. The cat does not need to monitor the sound. The body maintains it on its own. From the outside, this can make purring seem mysterious, a sound that appears without visible effort, a vibration that continues without visible motion. But inside, the process is precise. The larynx holds a balance between movement and stillness, between flexibility and structure. It does not rush to change. It does not seek variation. It stays with the rhythm it has chosen. For the listener, this matters. Sounds produced by force tend to pull attention. They rise and fall. They demand adjustment. A purr does not. Because the larynx keeps the sound contained, the vibration remains predictable. It doesn't surprise the ear. It doesn't interrupt thought. Instead, it offers consistency. This is one reason purring blends so easily into quiet environments. Bedrooms, dim rooms, late evenings. The larynx supports a sound that doesn't compete with rest. It complements it. You don't need to visualize the larynx to feel this effect. You don't need to remember its name or structure. It's enough to know that the sound you hear is held in place by a system designed for steadiness, a system that prefers rhythm over variation, containment over projection. In the next section, we'll look more closely at how breathing supports this process and how a purr continues so smoothly without breaking its rhythm. For now, the details can fade. What remains is the sense of a sound supported quietly from within. A sound held steady by a body at ease. One of the most unusual things about a purr is how little it seems to interrupt itself. Many sounds depend on breath in obvious ways. They start when air moves. They stop when it doesn't. A purr behaves differently. Once it begins, it carries on with a steady presence, almost indifferent to the rhythm of breathing beneath it. Inhale, exhale. The sound remains. This continuity is not accidental. It is the result of careful coordination inside a cat's body. Breathing is always happening. Even at rest, the lungs rise and fall. Air moves quietly in and out, guided by the diaphragm. When a cat purrs, this natural breathing pattern becomes part of the sound rather than an interruption to it. The diaphragm plays a central role here. It controls how air flows from the lungs through the throat. Instead of pushing air in sharp bursts, it allows airflow to remain smooth and regulated. This steady airflow supports the vibration in the larynx without overwhelming it. As the cat inhales, the diaphragm lowers. Air moves inward. The larynx maintains its rhythm. As the cat exhales, the diaphragm rises. Air moves outward. The vibration continues. There is no pause between these phases. The muscles involved in purring adjust automatically to subtle changes in airflow. They do not need to start over with each breath. They do not reset the rhythm. Instead, they hold it. This allows the purr to feel continuous rather than segmented. For the listener, this continuity is part of what makes the sound so soothing. There are no gaps to track, no moments of silence that signal change. the sound stays present without variation. Breathing itself tends to respond to this steadiness. When exposed to slow, repetitive rhythms, the body often begins to mirror them without instruction. Breaths may lengthen. Pauses between breaths may soften. This isn't something you need to encourage. It happens naturally when nothing is demanding attention. The purr provides a consistent background rhythm that the body can align with. For the cat, this alignment also serves a purpose. Purring often appears when a cat is in a state of low activity, resting, recovering, settling into sleep. In these states, breathing is already slower and more regulated. The purr fits neatly into this pattern. Rather than disrupting rest, it supports it. The coordination between breathing and purring is so refined that it can continue for long periods without fatigue. The muscles involved are not straining. They are repeating a small, contained movement. This is very different from vocalizations that require force or projection. Those sounds rely on bursts of air and muscular effort. A purr relies on balance. Airflow is present but controlled. Movement is active but minimal. This balance allows the sound to remain steady even as the body rests more deeply. From the outside, it may appear that a purring cat is doing nothing at all. Breathing quietly, eyes half closed, body still. But beneath that stillness, a gentle coordination is unfolding. The lungs move, the diaphragm adjusts, the larynx holds its rhythm. Each part responds to the others without urgency. There is no command center issuing instructions. The system has settled into a pattern that sustains itself. This kind of continuity is rare in daily life. Most systems we interact with require attention. They change suddenly. They demand correction. A purr does neither. It allows breath to move naturally. It allows rhythm to remain stable. For someone listening, this creates a sense of predictability. The sound does not surprise the ear. It does not require anticipation. You don't need to track where you are in the rhythm. You don't need to listen for a change. The purr will be there, whether you notice it or not. As you rest here now, you may notice your own breathing responding quietly. Not in any specific way, simply becoming less noticeable. That's part of how continuity works. When nothing interrupts, the body doesn't need to stay alert. You don't need to match your breath to the sound. You don't need to synchronize anything intentionally. The purr isn't asking for participation. It's offering steadiness. In the next section, we'll explore how a cat's anatomy is especially suited to holding this kind of rhythm without effort. For now, there's nothing to do but allow the sound to remain uninterrupted. A steady presence carried gently by breath. When a cat purrs, it can feel effortless. The sound appears without warning and stays without strain. That ease is not accidental. A cat's body is physically shaped to support this sound in a way that requires very little effort once it begins. Deep inside the larynx, the vocal folds are layered with specialized connective tissue. This tissue is soft, flexible, and resilient. Rather than resisting movement, it accommodates it. When vibration begins, these tissues allow the vocal folds to oscillate smoothly at low frequencies. They bend without collapsing. They return to shape without tension. This structure is part of what allows purring to remain steady over long periods of time. The frequency range of a purr is relatively low compared to many other vocal sounds, around 25 to 30 cycles per second. This is not a range that requires force. It's a range that suits slow, contained motion. The connective tissue within the vocal folds acts like a cushion. It absorbs vibration rather than amplifying it. It supports repetition without fatigue. Because of this, the larynx does not need to constantly adjust itself to maintain the sound. Once the rhythm is established, the tissue helps hold it in place. Researchers have explored this by observing how cat larynges behave under controlled conditions. In laboratory settings, airflow has been passed through isolated cat larynges. Even without the rest of the body present, these larynges were able to vibrate at purring frequencies. This tells us something important. The ability to purr is not only a product of neural signaling or conscious control. It is deeply embedded in the physical design of the cat's vocal system. The anatomy itself supports the sound. This built-in suitability allows purring to emerge easily when conditions are right. The body does not need to work against its own structure. Instead, structure and movement align. Because the tissue is tuned for low-frequency oscillation, vibration does not feel forced or strained. It feels natural. This natural fit is one reason purring can continue during rest, during stillness, during moments when the body is conserving energy. The larynx does not need to be held in a specific position by effort. It settles into a shape that allows vibration to happen smoothly. This reduces the need for muscular tension. The sound becomes something the body can maintain quietly in the background. For the cat, this means purring does not compete with rest. It does not interrupt relaxation. It does not require alertness. For the listener, this translates into a sound that feels stable and contained. There are no sudden shifts in pitch, no bursts of volume, no abrupt changes that demand attention. The sound remains consistent because the physical system producing it prefers consistency. A cat's larynx is not built to project purring across distance. It is built to hold it close. The tissue dampens extremes. It smooths variation. It supports continuity. This is why purring often feels more like a vibration than a sound. Why it can be felt through touch as easily as it is heard. The anatomy allows vibration to travel through the body without breaking apart. When you place a hand on a purring cat, you are feeling a movement that the body is designed to sustain. Not a strain, not an effort, just motion repeating itself gently. Because this design is physical, it does not depend on mood or intention alone. The body is always capable of producing the sound. Whether the cat is deeply relaxed or quietly self-regulating, the same anatomical support is there. This consistency is part of what makes purring feel dependable. It doesn't disappear because the body becomes tired. It doesn't fluctuate wildly from one moment to the next. It holds. You don't need to remember the details of connective tissue or vibration ranges. You don't need to picture the larynx at work. What matters is the outcome. A sound that exists comfortably within the body producing it. A rhythm that does not fight against structure. When something is built for a purpose, it tends to feel easy when it's used. Purring feels easy because the body supports it at every level. As you rest here now, you may notice how that ease carries through the sound itself. how little it changes, how little it asks. In the next section, we'll gently shift toward the role of the brain and how internal rhythms help pace this sound without conscious effort. There's nothing you need to hold on to from this section. The idea can settle quietly on its own. A purr is not something a cat forces into existence. It's something the body already knows how to do. When a cat purrs, there is no sign of effort or decision. The sound does not appear because the cat has chosen a specific action. It begins quietly, as if the body simply remembered something it already knew how to do. Behind this ease is the quiet work of the brain. The brain does not direct purring in the way it directs deliberate movement. It does not issue commands or monitor the sound closely once it begins. Instead, it provides timing. Within the nervous system, rhythmic signals travel from the brain to the muscles of the larynx. These signals help pace the gentle opening and closing of the vocal folds. The rhythm is steady. It does not rush. It does not demand attention. Researchers describe this process as being guided by an internal neural rhythm, a timing signal that repeats automatically once it starts. This kind of rhythm is sometimes called a neural oscillator. It functions quietly in the background, setting the pace without conscious effort. Once the oscillator establishes a rhythm, the muscles involved follow it naturally. They do not need constant correction. They do not need adjustment from moment to moment. The sound sustains itself. This is why purring can continue while a cat rests, while eyes are closed, while attention drifts. The brain does not need to stay alert for the sound to continue. The rhythm holds on its own. This is very different from vocalizations that require active control. Sounds that must be shaped intentionally. Sounds that change in response to the environment. A purr does not require this level of involvement. The brain sets the tempo, then allows the system to run. The exact neural pathways involved in purring are still being explored. Researchers continue to map how signals move through the nervous system during this process. What is clear is that the brain is not working hard. The signals involved are simple and repetitive. They do not change frequently. They do not carry complex information. This simplicity is part of what makes purring so reliable. Once the rhythm begins, it does not need to be defended or reinforced. It continues whether the cat is awake or drifting towards sleep. Because the brain is not occupied with controlling the sound, attention can remain elsewhere. On rest, on recovery, on quiet awareness. This allows purring to appear in moments when other forms of vocalization would be unnecessary. The brain does not interrupt rest to produce the sound. It integrates it. This integration is important. The nervous system is designed to support rhythms that promote stability. Breathing, heart rate, sleep cycles. Purring fits into this category. It is a rhythm that does not compete with regulation. It complements it. The neural oscillator associated with purring operates independently of conscious thought. The cat does not need to think about the sound. It does not need to maintain attention on it. The brain provides the timing, and the body carries it forward. This kind of automatic rhythm is something the human body is also familiar with. Heartbeat, breathing, slow cycles of rest and wakefulness. These rhythms continue whether we focus on them or not. Purring belongs to the same family of processes, Because the rhythm is stable, it does not trigger alertness. There is no unpredictability to monitor. For a listener, this stability matters. Sounds that change abruptly tend to pull attention outward. They ask the brain to stay engaged. A purr does the opposite. Its repetition signals that nothing new is about to happen. This allows attention to soften. It allows the body to remain at ease. You don't need to listen closely to benefit from this. You don't need to track the rhythm or notice when it changes. The sound continues regardless. As you rest here, you may notice how your own thoughts drift more easily when the environment remains steady, when there are no sudden changes to respond to. This is one reason purring can feel comforting even without conscious awareness. The brain recognizes the pattern as safe, predictable, contained. It does not need to prepare for action. In this way, purring is less a message and more a state, a signal that the system has settled into a rhythm it can hold. The details of neural oscillators and pathways do not need to be remembered. They are simply one way of understanding how little effort the brain is using. The important thing is this: the sound of purring is supported by a brain that knows how to maintain rhythm without strain. It is not being held together by attention or intention. It continues quietly in the background, while everything else rests. In the next section, we'll gently move into how this sound appears very early in a cat's life, long before learning or experience shape behavior. For now, the rhythm can remain as it is, steady, unconcerned, and quietly maintained. Even before a kitten understands its surroundings, before it can see clearly or move with confidence, the sound of purring is already there. It appears early, quietly, without needing to be taught. Kittens begin purring within just a few days of being born, at a time when their eyes are still closed, when their movements are small and uncertain. This tells us something important. Purring does not depend on learning or imitation. It does not require experience or practice. It is something the body already knows how to do. In the earliest days of life, kittens rely almost entirely on their mother. They cannot regulate their own temperature well. They cannot move far. They cannot communicate with sound in the way adult cats can. Yet purring is already present. A kitten's purr is not loud. It is soft and subtle, often more vibration than sound. This early purring serves as a quiet form of communication. It signals presence. It signals that the kitten is there, alive and close. For a mother cat, these small vibrations matter. They provide reassurance without requiring movement. They allow connection to happen in stillness. During nursing, purring becomes part of a shared environment. Mother and kittens often purr together, their rhythms overlapping. This creates a space filled with gentle vibration, a space where closeness does not require constant motion. The sound helps guide kittens toward their mother. Even before their vision is fully developed, vibration and sound offer direction. The kitten does not need to search actively. The body responds naturally to what it senses. Purring, at this stage, is not about comfort alone. It is about survival. It supports bonding. It supports orientation. It supports regulation in a body that is still learning how to exist in the world. What's remarkable is how little this changes over time. The same sound that appears in the earliest days of life remains present in adulthood, the same rhythm, the same low, steady vibration. This continuity matters. It means purring is not something added later. It is not layered on top of other behaviors. It is foundational. From the very beginning, a cat's body knows how to settle into this rhythm. Because purring is innate, it does not require refinement. It does not become more correct with age. A kitten's purr may be quieter, less forceful, but it follows the same pattern. The body is already equipped with the structures and rhythms needed to produce the sound. As kittens grow, their purr grows with them. It becomes stronger, more noticeable, but it does not fundamentally change. This early presence of purring also means that the sound is closely tied to safety. In the earliest moments of life, purring occurs in the presence of warmth, of nourishment, of protection. The body begins to associate the rhythm with closeness and regulation before memory has fully formed. This association does not need to be remembered consciously. It lives in the nervous system. Even as cats mature and become independent, the sound remains available. It can reappear in moments of rest, in moments of recovery. The body does not need to learn it again. It simply returns to it. For those listening, there is something grounding about knowing this. The sound of purring is not a performance. It is not a behavior that must be activated intentionally. It is a rhythm the body has carried since the beginning. This may be one reason purring feels so familiar, even to those who have never lived with a cat. The sound does not feel new. It feels established. It feels like something that has always existed in the background of life. As you rest here now, you might notice how comforting it can be to imagine a sound that has been present since the earliest moments of being alive. A rhythm that does not depend on understanding. A rhythm that simply exists. In the next section, we'll explore how this early purring creates shared space between mother and kitten, and how vibration becomes a form of connection. For now, the idea can rest. A purr does not begin with intention. It begins with life itself. In the earliest days of a cat's life, sound is not something that travels far. It does not need to. What matters most is closeness. During nursing and rest, mother cats and their kittens often purr together. Not as a coordinated act, not as something planned. It happens naturally as bodies settle into the same space. These overlapping purrs create a shared field of vibration, a soft, steady background that fills the small world the kittens inhabit. At this stage of life, vision is limited. Movement is minimal. Awareness is shaped more by touch, warmth, and vibration than by sight. Purring fits perfectly into this environment. The sound is not sharp. It does not startle. It does not pull attention away from rest. Instead, it blends into the physical experience of being close to another body. For a kitten, this shared vibration serves as reassurance. It signals presence without requiring effort. It allows connection to happen without movement. The kitten does not need to search or call out. The body feels the rhythm and remains settled. For the mother cat, purring during nursing creates stability. It helps maintain a calm environment. It supports stillness at a time when the kittens are vulnerable. The shared vibration becomes part of the caregiving process. Not as instruction, not as communication that needs interpretation. Simply as a state that both bodies enter together. Because purring is felt as much as it is heard, it does not rely on distance. It travels easily through contact, through fur, through the surface the bodies rest on. This makes it ideal for early bonding. The sound does not need to reach far. It only needs to fill the immediate space. Over time, kittens come to associate this vibration with safety, with warmth, with nourishment. The association does not need to be learned consciously. It forms quietly, alongside breathing and heartbeat. As kittens grow, the context changes. They move more. They explore beyond their mother's side. But the memory of shared vibration remains. The body remembers the rhythm, even when the environment becomes larger and more complex. This early experience helps explain why purring continues to function as a bonding signal later in life. Adult cats often purr when resting near humans or other animals. The situation is different. The bodies are larger, the world is more varied, but the underlying mechanism is the same. Purring creates a shared sensory space. It does not ask for response. It does not demand interaction. It simply offers presence. When two beings occupy the same quiet space, the vibration becomes something they share. This sharing does not require touch. But when touch is present, the effect deepens. A hand resting on a purring cat receives the vibration directly. The sound becomes something physical. The rhythm passes from one body to another. This transfer does not carry meaning in the way language does. It does not convey instruction or expectation. It conveys steadiness. This is why purring often appears during moments of closeness that do not involve play or activity. Sitting together, resting side by side, remaining still. The sound fills the space where interaction is minimal, but connection remains. Because purring is low in frequency, it does not dominate the environment. It does not crowd out other sensations. Instead, it supports them. It allows the space to feel inhabited without being busy. For many people, this quality of shared vibration is what makes purring feel comforting. The sound does not isolate. It connects. Not through words, not through action, through rhythm. As you rest here now, you may notice how this idea resonates. How comfort often comes from sharing space without expectation, from being near something steady. Purring models this kind of connection. It does not require conversation. It does not require eye contact. It exists comfortably alongside silence. In the next section, we'll move gently into how this sound appears later in life, during adult rest and everyday stillness. For now, you can allow the idea of shared vibration to remain soft. A reminder that connection does not always need effort. Sometimes it only needs presence. As cats move through adulthood, purring finds its most familiar place in moments of rest. Not the deep stillness of sleep, and not the alertness of play, but the space in between. This is the state where the body is settled, yet aware, where muscles are loose, where attention is present but unburdened. Adult cats often purr when they are resting in environments they recognize as safe. On a couch warmed by the day, in a patch of sunlight near a window, beside a familiar person or another animal. In these moments, purring is not a signal meant to travel. It is a background rhythm that accompanies stillness. You'll often notice purring alongside other quiet behaviors. kneading with slow, deliberate movements, eyes half closed, a relaxed posture that takes up just enough space. These behaviors tend to appear together because they share the same internal conditions. The body has lowered its guard. There is no need to prepare for movement. No need to monitor the environment closely. Purring fits naturally into this state. The sound does not interrupt rest. It does not require adjustment. It continues at the same pace whether the cat is lightly awake or drifting towards sleep. This consistency allows the body to remain settled. For many cats, purring becomes part of their resting routine, a familiar rhythm that appears when they are comfortable enough to stop doing anything else. It does not need to be encouraged. It does not need to be maintained. It simply begins. The sound often appears when a cat is being gently touched. A hand moving slowly through fur. A quiet presence nearby. Touch can reinforce the sense of safety that allows purring to emerge. But purring does not depend on touch. Cats also purr when resting alone, curled into themselves, body tucked neatly into a compact shape. In these moments, purring serves no outward purpose. It is not communicating with anyone nearby. It exists for the body itself. This is why purring is often associated with contentment, but not excitement. There is no upward surge of energy, no burst of movement. The sound remains even. Adult cats may purr during routines that repeat day after day, settling into a favorite spot, returning to a familiar bed, waiting quietly in a place they know well. The repetition of environment supports the repetition of sound. Nothing new needs to be assessed. Nothing unexpected needs attention. The body recognizes this and allows the rhythm to form. For those living with cats, these moments become part of the household's quiet rhythm, the sound of purring blending into the background of everyday life. It may be noticed at first, then forgotten, and yet it remains. This is part of what makes purring feel reassuring. It does not need to be acknowledged to continue. As you rest here now, you might notice how similar this is to your own experience of settling. The body does not relax all at once. It eases into it. Purring mirrors this gradual process. There is no clear starting point, no signal that the body has officially entered rest. The sound simply appears when the conditions are right. Adult cats may purr more frequently as they age, as movement slows, as time spent resting increases. The rhythm becomes a companion to stillness. Even when purring occurs during stress or discomfort, it often appears in moments when movement has paused, when the body is no longer actively responding. In rest, purring is at its most familiar. It is the sound of a body that has found a place where nothing is being asked of it. For a listener, this matters. Sounds associated with rest tend to invite rest in others, not through instruction, but through presence. A purring cat does not demonstrate how to relax. It simply occupies the state fully. The sound becomes a quiet reminder that rest does not require explanation. In the next section, we'll eventually move into how purring can also appear outside of rest, in moments that require regulation. For now, it's enough to stay here, with a sound that belongs to stillness, a rhythm that keeps company with rest. Nothing else needs to happen. It's easy to assume that a purr always means the same thing. Because the sound feels comforting, Many people naturally associate it with happiness or contentment, and often that association fits. But purring is not a single emotion translated into sound. It's something quieter and more flexible than that. A purr does not function like a word. It does not carry a fixed definition. Instead, it reflects a state within the body. The meaning of a purr is shaped by everything surrounding it: the posture of the cat, the environment they are in, the moment in which the sound appears. When a cat is relaxed and comfortable, the signs tend to align. The body is loose. The muscles are soft. The eyes may be partially closed or blinking slowly. In these moments, purring accompanies ease. The sound does not stand alone. It is part of a larger picture that includes stillness and safety. But the same sound can appear under very different conditions. A cat may purr while tense, while holding its body close, while remaining alert to its surroundings. In these cases, the sound does not carry the same emotional tone, even though it sounds similar to the ear. This is why posture matters. A relaxed cat often stretches slightly into the space it occupies. Its limbs are not pulled inward. Its movements are unguarded. A cat under strain may hold itself differently. Muscles tighter, ears angled back, movements smaller and more contained. The purr itself has not changed dramatically. The body around it has. This tells us something important. Purring is not an emotional label. It is a physiological signal. It reflects what the body is doing internally, rather than what the cat is trying to express outwardly. Because of this, purring does not need to align with a single feeling. It can appear during comfort. It can appear during uncertainty. It can appear during moments when the body is regulating itself quietly. This flexibility is part of what makes purring so enduring. If the sound were limited to a single emotional state, it would only appear under narrow conditions. Instead, it shows up across a wide range of situations. The environment plays a role as well. A familiar space supports relaxed purring. A new or unpredictable environment may still produce purring, but the body language often shifts. The sound remains, but the context changes how it should be understood. This is why it can be misleading to interpret purring in isolation. Listening only to the sound removes it from the body that is producing it. Cats communicate through combinations of signals: sound, posture, movement, stillness. Purring is one part of that system. It does not override the others. Rather than acting as a clear message, it reflects how the nervous system is settling into a particular state. This is why purring has been described as a state signal, rather than a spoken one. It tells us something about what the body is doing internally, not what the cat is asking for, not what it expects in return. In this way, purring is remarkably honest. It does not exaggerate. It does not dramatize. It simply continues when the body finds it useful. For those listening, this perspective allows purring to be appreciated without interpretation. There is no need to decide what it means in any given moment. The sound can be allowed to exist without being translated. This acceptance mirrors how cats themselves treat the sound. They do not pause to assign it meaning. They do not adjust it to be understood. It appears when the body settles into a rhythm that supports it. And then it fades when that rhythm is no longer needed. As you rest here now, this idea may feel familiar. Human bodies also experience states that do not translate neatly into words, moments that are not clearly happy or unhappy, moments that are simply regulated. Purring belongs to that category. It reflects a body finding steadiness within its current conditions. In the next section, we'll gently explore how this same sound can appear during moments of strain or discomfort, and how purring may help the body regulate itself during those times. For now, there is nothing to resolve. A purr does not need to mean one thing. It only needs to belong to the moment in which it appears. There are moments when purring appears in places we don't expect it. Moments that are quiet, but not comfortable. Moments where the body is still, but not fully at ease. Cats have been observed purring during veterinary visits, during illness, during injury, even during moments of fear or pain. At first, this can be confusing. The sound is familiar, comforting, often associated with rest. Yet the situation surrounding it is clearly different. This is where understanding purring as a state signal becomes especially important. In these situations, purring is not a sign of happiness. It is not an expression of contentment. It is something else entirely. When a cat is under strain, the body often shifts into a mode focused on regulation. Breathing may become shallow or irregular. Muscles may tense. Attention may narrow. Purring can appear as part of the body's response to this strain. Rather than communicating outwardly, the sound seems to work inward. The rhythm remains slow and steady, even when the environment feels uncertain. The body returns to a familiar pattern. This repetition matters. Slow, repetitive rhythms can help stabilize internal systems. Breathing becomes more regular. Heart rate may begin to settle. The sound does not remove the source of discomfort. It does not resolve the situation, but it may help the body stay contained while the moment passes. In this way, purring under strain resembles other automatic regulatory behaviors seen across many species. Rocking, swaying, repetitive motion. These behaviors are not conscious choices. They arise when the nervous system looks for something steady to hold on to. Purring may serve a similar function for cats. It provides a rhythm the body already knows, a pattern that does not require learning or attention. Because purring is supported by anatomy and neural rhythm, it can continue even when the cat is alert or uncomfortable. The body does not need to relax fully for the sound to appear. It only needs to access the rhythm. This helps explain why purring has been observed during recovery from illness or injury, when movement is limited, when the body is conserving energy. In these moments, purring does not signal ease. It signals regulation. The sound allows the body to remain organized rather than scattered. It offers consistency when other systems are under strain. For observers, this can be difficult to interpret. We often want clear emotional signals, clear meanings, but purring does not simplify itself to make interpretation easy. It remains flexible. A cat purring at the veterinarian is not sending the same message as a cat purring on a sunny windowsill. The sound may be similar, the state is not. This is why body language remains essential. A cat under strain may hold itself tightly, ears angled back, eyes wide or fixed. The purr continues, but the posture tells a different story. This does not mean the purr is misleading. It means the sound is doing a different job. In these contexts, purring may help stabilize breathing and heart rhythm. The slow repetition provides a pattern the body can follow. The cat does not need to consciously regulate these systems. The rhythm supports them automatically. This is especially important during moments when the nervous system is activated. Stress narrows attention. It prepares the body for response. Purring introduces a counterbalance, a steady internal signal that nothing needs to change immediately. This does not eliminate fear or pain. It does not override instinct, but it may reduce escalation. For cats recovering from illness or injury, purring may appear for long periods. The body remains mostly still. The sound continues quietly. In these moments, purring may help the cat remain settled during healing or rest. This is not something the cat decides to do. It is something the body allows. Because purring is low in energy demand, it does not interfere with recovery. It does not require movement. It does not consume attention. It simply persists. Understanding purring under strain invites compassion rather than confusion. It reminds us that comfort and discomfort are not always opposites. That regulation can occur even in difficult moments. For those listening, this perspective can be grounding. It shows that steadiness does not require perfect conditions, that a body can find rhythm even when circumstances are challenging. As you rest here now, you might notice how reassuring that idea can be. The presence of purring in moments of strain does not diminish its gentleness. It expands it. The sound is not limited to ease. It is available when the body needs steadiness most. In the next section, we'll gently explore how vibration itself interacts with the body and how the physical qualities of purring extend beyond sound alone. For now, the idea can remain soft. A purr does not promise comfort. It offers regulation. And sometimes, that is exactly what the body needs. When we think about sound, we often imagine something that exists only in the air, something we hear with our ears, then leave behind. A purr is different. It is a sound, yes, but it is also a vibration. This vibration moves through the body that produces it and into the space around it. It can be heard. It can be felt. Sometimes it can be sensed even when it is barely audible. At the center of a purr is a low, steady rhythm. Most commonly, this rhythm sits around 25 to 30 cycles each second. This range is slow enough to feel grounding, fast enough to remain continuous. The sound does not flicker. It does not pulse dramatically. It holds. Beyond this central rhythm, a purr also contains layers, harmonics that extend the vibration upward in frequency. These harmonics are softer than the fundamental tone, but they add texture to the sound. They give the purr its depth. Measurements of purring have shown that these vibrations can extend up to around 150 cycles each second. Within that range, certain frequencies appear more strongly than others. Two of the most commonly noted are around 25 and 50 cycles per second. You do not need to remember these numbers. They are simply markers. What matters is that these frequencies sit within a range that the body can feel easily. Low-frequency vibration does not stay confined to the ear. It travels through surfaces, through muscle, through bone. This is why a purring cat can feel present even in silence. Why the vibration can be sensed through a hand or through the floor beneath them. The body responds to vibration differently then it responds to sharp sound. High, sudden noises often trigger alertness. They ask the nervous system to pay attention. Low, steady vibrations tend to do the opposite. They do not demand response. They offer consistency. This is part of what makes a purr feel grounding. The vibration does not rush past the body. It settles into it. Researchers have noticed that the frequency range of purring overlaps with ranges studied in therapeutic vibration research. This overlap has drawn interest, not because it proves an effect, but because it suggests compatibility. In laboratory settings, certain low-frequency vibrations have been shown to influence bone density and tissue behavior. These studies are controlled, specific, and carefully defined. The presence of similar frequencies in purring has been described as biologically intriguing. It raises questions, not conclusions. The overlap suggests that the body is familiar with these frequencies, that they are not foreign or disruptive. Instead, they exist within ranges the body already knows how to receive. For a cat, this means the vibration of purring is not something the body must resist. It moves through tissues that are already adapted to accommodate it. For a listener, this means the vibration does not feel invasive. It arrives softly. It remains steady. It fades without leaving tension behind. Because purring is continuous, the vibration does not come in bursts. There are no sudden spikes. This consistency allows the nervous system to remain calm. It does not need to stay alert for changes. It does not need to brace. Instead, it can settle. This is why people often describe purring as something they notice less over time, even as it continues. The vibration becomes part of the background. It integrates. The body does not need to process it actively. In moments of rest, this kind of vibration can feel especially soothing. The body is already slowing. The sound supports that shift. But even outside of rest, the vibration remains gentle. It does not escalate. It does not amplify emotion. It simply continues at the same pace. This steadiness is key. The body tends to relax around rhythms that do not change suddenly. Predictability allows systems to downshift. Purring offers that predictability. It does not signal urgency. It does not imply action. It exists. As you rest here now, you might notice how this idea feels. A sound that is also a physical presence. A vibration that does not ask anything of you. You don't need to tune into it. You don't need to follow it. It is content to remain where it is. In the next section, we'll gently explore the ideas researchers have proposed about why these vibrations might matter, while keeping clear boundaries between observation and proof. For now, it's enough to know this. A purr is not just something you hear. It is something the body can feel. And that feeling is steady, contained, and unhurried. When people learn about the frequencies found in a cat's purr, it's natural for questions to follow. Not urgent questions, not demanding ones. Quiet curiosity. If purring produces steady vibration within ranges the body can feel, it invites gentle wondering about what that vibration might do. Over time, researchers have noticed that the frequency range of purring overlaps with ranges studied in certain forms of therapeutic vibration. This overlap has led to a number of hypotheses. Not conclusions, not promises, just ideas worth exploring carefully. In laboratory settings, Low-frequency vibrations have been studied for their effects on bone density, muscle tone, and tissue behavior. These studies are controlled, specific, often carried out under very particular conditions. Within this research, certain frequency ranges have been associated with maintaining bone strength and supporting tissue activity. These findings are narrow and precise. They do not describe everyday life. They do not generalize easily. When researchers observed that cat purrs contain strong components in similar frequency ranges, it raised interest. The overlap was described as biologically intriguing, not because it proved anything, but because it suggested compatibility. The idea that followed was simple. If a cat's body regularly produces low-frequency vibration during rest, could this vibration play a supportive role? One hypothesis suggests that purring may help maintain muscle and bone during periods of low activity. Cats rest often. They spend large portions of their lives conserving energy. A sound that produces gentle internal vibration could theoretically support the body during these extended rest periods. Another hypothesis focuses on comfort rather than structure. Low-frequency vibration may stimulate sensory nerves in a way that reduces discomfort or promotes calm. This does not mean pain disappears. It does not mean injury heals faster. It suggests that vibration might help the body remain regulated while other processes continue on their own. These ideas remain hypotheses. They are informed by observation and by related research in other contexts. They are not supported by direct evidence showing cause and effect in cats. No controlled study has demonstrated that purring directly accelerates healing. No experiment has shown that cats recover faster because they purr. This boundary matters. It allows curiosity without overreach. It keeps the discussion grounded. What we can say is this: purring occurs often during rest, during recovery, during periods when the body is focused on maintenance rather than activity. The vibration is present during times when other systems are already working quietly in the background. This timing is what makes the hypothesis appealing, not because it offers a dramatic explanation, but because it aligns with when purring naturally appears. The sound does not arrive to fix something. It arrives when the body has settled into stillness. This distinction is important. Purring does not replace healing processes. It does not initiate them. At most, it may exist alongside them. The body continues its work regardless. From a scientific perspective, this kind of coexistence is difficult to study. The variables are subtle. The effects, if present, are likely small and cumulative. This makes definitive answers unlikely. And that's okay. Not every biological phenomenon needs to be reduced to a function or benefit. Some patterns exist because they fit the system they belong to. Purring may be one of those patterns. It is low in energy demand. It does not interfere with rest. It does not require attention. If it offers subtle support, that support would be quiet rather than dramatic. For those listening, this perspective can be reassuring. There is no promise hidden in the sound, no claim that something must happen. The presence of purring does not mean healing is underway, and its absence does not mean something is wrong. The sound is not a signal of outcome. It is a state, a rhythm that the body holds when conditions allow. This removes pressure from the experience. You do not need to believe in a benefit for the sound to feel comforting. You do not need to expect change. The value of purring does not depend on proving an effect. It exists whether or not it serves a measurable function. As you rest here now, this idea may feel familiar. Not everything that feels supportive needs to be explained fully. Not every comfort needs justification. Sometimes, a steady presence is enough. In the next section, we'll step back even further and look at purring in an evolutionary context, where quiet, low-energy communication may have shaped how this sound persisted over time. For now, you can let the question remain open. When we look at purring over long stretches of time, it becomes clear that this sound is not loud by design. It does not travel far. It does not announce presence to the wider world. Instead, it stays close. From an evolutionary perspective, this quiet quality matters. Cats belong to a family of animals shaped by balance. Balance between movement and stillness, between visibility and concealment. Within the feline family, different vocal strategies emerged over time. Some cats developed the ability to roar, others retained the ability to purr. These differences are not about intelligence or complexity. They reflect different needs and environments. Large cats in the Panthera genus, such as lions and tigers, evolved vocal systems capable of producing powerful roars. These sounds carry over long distances. They establish territory. They communicate presence across open space. This vocal power comes with structural changes. Flexible components in the vocal anatomy allow for large, forceful sound production. Purring cats, by contrast, retained a different structure. Their vocal anatomy supports sustained, low-frequency vibration rather than projection. The hyoid bone is more fully ossified. The larynx is tuned for steadiness rather than volume. This structural difference shapes how sound behaves. A purr does not travel across a landscape. It stays within close range. This suggests a different communicative role. Rather than broadcasting information outward, purring operates in intimate spaces. It functions where distance has already closed. From an evolutionary standpoint, this can be seen as efficient. Low-energy communication requires fewer resources. It does not draw attention from afar. It does not reveal location unnecessarily. For a small or mid-sized cat, this matters. Quiet signals allow connection without risk. They support bonding without exposure. Purring fits neatly into this framework. It allows communication between mother and kitten, between companions resting together, between a cat and a trusted presence nearby. The sound does not alert predators. It does not challenge rivals. It remains contained. This containment may help explain why purring persisted across feline evolution. It did not need to compete with louder signals. It served a different purpose. Rather than replacing other vocalizations, it existed alongside them. Cats can still hiss, growl, and meow when needed. These sounds are situational. They appear when the environment requires response. Purring does not serve those moments. It serves the quiet ones. Over time, this quiet utility likely contributed to its persistence. A sound that costs little energy and does not interfere with survival tends to remain. Purring does not require movement. It does not require visual contact. It does not require alertness. It integrates easily into rest. From an evolutionary lens, this makes it sustainable. Even fossil evidence hints at this continuity. Some extinct cats, including saber-toothed species, are thought to have been capable of purring. Their anatomy suggests structures compatible with sustained vibration rather than roaring. While we cannot hear these animals, their physical remains tell a quiet story. Purring appears to be an old sound, one that did not need to change dramatically to remain useful. This long presence adds weight to its simplicity. The sound did not evolve to impress. It evolved to persist. It did not need to become louder or more complex. It only needed to fit comfortably within the body producing it. This idea aligns with how purring feels today. It does not push outward. It does not escalate. It remains where it is. For a listener, this evolutionary quiet can be reassuring. It reminds us that not all communication needs to be loud to be effective. Not all signals need to dominate space. Some of the most enduring patterns are the ones that remain subtle. As you rest here now, you may notice how this perspective shifts the way purring feels. Not as a sound meant to perform, but as a rhythm that has stayed useful precisely because it does not demand attention. The world around cats has changed dramatically over time. Landscapes, climates, relationships. Yet purring remains. Its quiet nature allowed it to move through these changes without disruption. It did not need to adapt rapidly. It did not need to transform. It simply continued. In the next section, we'll return from this wide view and focus on individual cats, how each one carries this ancient sound in their own way. For now, you can let the idea of evolutionary quiet settle, a reminder that some things last because they do not insist. They remain present, steady, and close, just like a purr. Even though purring follows a shared pattern, no two cats sound exactly the same. The rhythm may be familiar. The frequency range may overlap, but the voice itself is individual. Every cat produces a purr with its own acoustic signature. Subtle differences in tone, volume, texture, and rhythm shape how the sound feels. Some purrs are barely audible. They exist more as vibration than sound. You may feel them before you hear them. Others are strong and resonant. They travel through furniture. They hum softly through the room. Neither is more correct than the other. Variation is part of how purring exists. The structure of each cat's vocal folds plays a role. Small differences in thickness, elasticity, and tissue arrangement change how vibration behaves. These differences are influenced by genetics, by development, by individual anatomy. The way vibration moves through the body also matters. Some bodies carry sound outward easily. Others absorb it. A cat with denser muscle or broader bone structure may transmit vibration differently than a lighter-framed cat. The sound may feel deeper, more grounded. Another cat may produce a higher, softer purr that fades quickly into the background. Body size alone does not determine this. Two cats of similar size can have very different purring characteristics. The frequency of the purr does not reliably correlate with weight or build. What you hear is the result of many small variables working together. Personality also plays a role. Some cats purr often and openly. The sound appears quickly when they settle. Others are more reserved. their purring is quieter, less frequent. This does not reflect greater or lesser comfort. It reflects preference. Some cats express regulation outwardly. Others keep it contained. Context influences intensity as well. A relaxed purr is often softer and more rhythmically stable. It flows evenly without variation. A purr that appears during stress or uncertainty may sound different, slightly louder, less regular. The sound adapts to the moment without losing its core rhythm. Some cats are capable of purring silently. The vocal folds vibrate, the body hums, but little or no sound reaches the air. In these cases, the vibration is still present. It can be felt through touch. This reminds us that purring is not defined by volume. Audibility is only one expression of the underlying rhythm. Other cats purr audibly, even with minimal contact. Their sound carries easily, filling the space around them. Neither form is more meaningful. They are simply different ways the same system expresses itself. Over time, a cat's purring behavior may change. Age influences rhythm. Older cats often purr during longer periods of rest. As activity decreases, the body spends more time in states where purring can emerge. Illness or recovery can also shift purring patterns. The sound may appear for extended durations or become more subtle. These changes tend to happen gradually. They are not sudden signals. They reflect shifts in how the body is spending its time. Even within the same household, purring can vary widely between cats. One may purr loudly at the slightest touch. Another may only purr during deep rest. These differences are not comparisons. They are expressions. Purring does not function as a measurement of affection. It does not indicate depth of bond or strength of attachment. It reflects how an individual body finds steadiness. For those listening, this can be freeing. There is no need to expect a specific sound, no need to look for a particular volume or rhythm. A quiet purr is not less than a loud one. An infrequent purr is not withholding. Each cat carries the rhythm in its own way. As you rest here now, you might notice how this idea extends beyond cats. Variation does not mean deviation. Difference does not require correction. Purring allows us to see how a shared system can still produce countless unique expressions. The rhythm remains recognizable, but the voice is personal. In the next section, we'll move further into how this individuality continues to shape purring in social contexts and communication. For now, the idea can remain gentle. A reminder that sameness is not required for connection. Each purr belongs to the body that carries it. Up to this point, purring may have felt almost automatic. A rhythm the body enters when conditions allow, and often that is true. But there are moments when purring becomes slightly more shaped. Not forced, not dramatic, just adjusted. Cats are capable of subtle modulation. They can change how a purr sounds depending on what is happening around them. This does not mean purring becomes deliberate in the way speech is deliberate. It does not turn into a message composed with intention and expectation. Instead, the body gently alters the sound. Small changes in intensity, in rhythm, in texture. These changes are not always easy to hear. Sometimes they are felt more than noticed, but they matter. Some purrs carry additional acoustic information layered quietly into the familiar rhythm. The bass vibration remains steady, but something else rides alongside it. This shaping does not require learning language. It does not require symbolic thought. It emerges from responsiveness. A cat's nervous system is constantly adjusting to its environment. When needs arise, the body adapts its signals. Purring is one of the signals that can be adjusted. A cat that wants closeness may produce a slightly more pronounced purr. The vibration may feel more noticeable through touch. The sound may become a little clearer. A cat seeking attention may maintain the purr for longer than usual. The rhythm stays present rather than fading. These changes are subtle. They do not break the calm quality of the sound. They refine it. The ability to shape a purr reflects quiet intelligence rather than calculation. The body does not stop regulating itself in order to communicate. It layers communication into regulation. This makes purring remarkably efficient. It can continue serving the cat internally, while also influencing the environment gently. Because purring remains low energy, these adjustments do not cost much. They do not disrupt rest. They do not escalate interaction. They simply tilt the sound slightly toward connection. Importantly, this modulation is context dependent. Cats do not shape purrs all the time. They do so when the situation calls for it, when a need arises, when proximity matters, when timing is right. Outside of those moments, the purr returns to its baseline rhythm. This flexibility allows purring to remain reliable. It does not become overloaded with meaning. It does not lose its calming quality. The core rhythm stays intact. What changes is the texture layered on top. This is part of why purring can feel expressive without becoming loud. The sound remains close range. It does not reach outward dramatically. It stays where connection already exists. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes sense. Subtle modulation allows communication without drawing attention from a distance. It allows needs to be expressed quietly. For a species shaped by both closeness and caution, this is useful. For humans living alongside cats, these shifts are often noticed intuitively rather than consciously. People may describe a purr as sounding different, more insistent, more present. They may not be able to explain why. That's because the changes are small. They operate below the level of language. The body recognizes them before the mind does. This does not mean cats are manipulating humans. It means they are responsive. Their bodies are tuned to how sound influences others. The purr remains a regulation signal first. Communication is layered gently on top. This balance prevents the sound from becoming demanding. Even when shaped, a purr does not feel like a command. It feels like an invitation. As you rest here now, this idea may settle quietly. The thought that intelligence does not always announce itself. That responsiveness can exist without urgency. Purring shows how a system can remain calm while still being expressive. The sound does not abandon its original purpose. It expands slightly when needed. In the next section, we'll focus more closely on one specific form of shaped purring, the solicitation purr, and explore why humans tend to respond to it so strongly. For now, the idea can rest. A purr does not need to change much to carry meaning. Sometimes the smallest adjustment is enough. Among the many variations of purring, there is one that stands out not because it is louder, but because it is harder to ignore. This is often called the solicitation purr. At first, it sounds like an ordinary purr. The familiar low vibration is still there. The rhythm remains steady. But woven gently into that rhythm is something else. A higher sound. Soft, but piercing in a way the rest of the purr is not. This additional sound sits far above the usual purring frequencies, around 2,000 cycles each second. You do not need to recognize the number. What matters is how the sound feels. It cuts through the low vibration just enough to draw attention. Researchers studying this phenomenon notice something interesting. When humans listen to these purrs, they tend to react differently. They rate them as more urgent, more difficult to ignore. Even when the overall volume remains low, the presence of this high-frequency element changes the experience. The reason appears to lie in familiarity. The embedded sound resembles the acoustic pattern of a human infant's cry. Not in meaning, not in intention, in structure. Human nervous systems are especially sensitive to this range of sound. It evolved to signal need. This sensitivity operates below conscious awareness. People often cannot explain why a particular purr feels different. They simply feel drawn to respond. The cat does not need to understand this connection in human terms. The effect does not require insight or planning. It emerges from how sound interacts with biology. Cats that produce solicitation purrs are not abandoning the purr's calming base. They are layering something onto it. The low-frequency vibration remains. It continues to regulate the cat's body. The higher sound rides quietly above it. This combination is important. If the sound were only high-pitched, it might feel sharp or disruptive. If it were only low, it might fade into the background. Together, they create a signal that is noticeable without being alarming. The solicitation purr is most often observed when cats are hungry or seeking attention. Often in the early morning. Often near familiar humans. The timing matters. The environment is quiet. The listener is close. The sound does not need to travel far. The cat does not escalate the signal dramatically. It does not meow loudly. It does not create urgency through volume. Instead, it uses contrast, a subtle change within an already familiar sound. Humans respond not because they are being commanded, but because something in the sound engages a deeply ingrained sensitivity. Importantly, not all cats use solicitation purrs in the same way. Some produce them frequently, others rarely. This variation reflects individuality rather than strategy. The sound is shaped by anatomy, experience, and comfort level. Even when solicitation purrs are present, they remain gentle. They do not overwhelm the space. They are still purrs. This distinction matters. The cat is not switching from regulation to communication. It is combining them. The body remains settled enough to purr. The sound becomes slightly more informative. This combination reflects how flexible purring can be. It does not need to abandon calm in order to be effective. For humans, this can feel almost personal. The sound arrives softly, It does not demand immediate action, yet it lingers in awareness. People often describe feeling awake because of it, not startled, just aware. This response is not something to resist or analyze. It is simply how nervous systems interact. As you rest here now, you may notice how gentle signals can sometimes be the most effective. Not because they are loud, but because they fit into existing rhythms. The solicitation purr does not disrupt the quiet. It uses it. In the next section, we'll turn the focus fully toward the human side of this interaction. How purring is received. How sound, vibration, and stillness move through the human body. For now, you can allow the idea of the solicitation purr to remain soft. A reminder that communication does not always arrive as urgency. Sometimes it arrives as a familiar sound, shaped just enough to be noticed. When a cat purrs nearby, something often shifts quietly in the human body. Not dramatically, not all at once, just enough to be noticed later. People often describe feeling calmer when they hear or feel a purr. They may not be able to say why. They may not even notice the moment it begins. The effect tends to arrive gently. Part of this comes from how purring is experienced. It is not only a sound. It is also a vibration. Low-frequency vibration travels differently than higher sounds. It moves through surfaces, through skin, through contact. When a cat is close, the vibration can be felt as much as it is heard, sometimes more. This engages the body in a way that does not require attention. The nervous system responds automatically. Low, steady rhythms tend to encourage regulation rather than alertness. They do not signal danger. They do not suggest urgency. Instead, they provide consistency. This consistency allows the parasympathetic nervous system to become more active. This is the part of the nervous system associated with rest, digestion, and recovery. When this system is engaged, the body begins to downshift. Breathing may slow. Muscle tension may soften. This does not require effort or intention. The body recognizes the rhythm and responds. Studies examining purr-like sounds have noted changes in heart rate variability when people listen to them. Heart rate variability reflects how adaptable the heart is to changing conditions. Higher variability is often associated with calm, regulated states. This does not mean purring acts as a treatment. It does not mean it produces guaranteed effects. It suggests that the body is receptive to this kind of sensory input. Quiet interaction with a purring cat tends to reduce perceived stress. The interaction does not need to be active. Simply being near the sound can be enough. Touch can deepen the experience. When a hand rests on a purring cat, vibration passes directly into the body. The rhythm becomes physical. This can feel grounding. The body receives the signal through multiple pathways at once. Sound, touch, stillness. The combination matters. Purring is rarely experienced in isolation. It usually occurs in environments that are already calm. A quiet room, a familiar space, a moment without demands. These conditions support the body's response. The sound does not need to overcome noise or distraction. It blends into the environment. This blending is important. The body relaxes more easily when it does not need to focus. Purring does not insist on being listened to. It remains present whether it is noticed or not. Over time, the sound may fade into the background, yet its effect can continue. This is because the nervous system does not require conscious attention to respond to rhythm. It responds automatically. More active interactions with cats, such as play, produce different physiological responses. Movement increases heart rate. Attention sharpens. These interactions are not less valuable. They are simply different. Purring belongs to a quieter category. It supports regulation rather than stimulation. This may help explain why people often associate cats with comfort and protection across cultures and history. The presence of a calm animal in close proximity can be reassuring. Purring reinforces this impression. It provides an audible and tactile sign that the environment is stable. Modern animal-assisted therapy sometimes includes cats for this reason. Not because they perform tasks, but because their presence supports calm. The purr becomes part of that presence. It does not ask the human to do anything. It does not require engagement. It simply exists alongside them. As you rest here now, you might notice how easy it is to let the sound remain in the background, how little it demands. You do not need to listen closely. You do not need to respond. Your body can receive the rhythm without instruction. This is part of what makes purring feel safe. It does not pull attention outward. It allows attention to soften inward. In the next section, we'll move gently toward shared stillness, where purring becomes less about sound and more about quiet companionship. For now, you can let this reflection settle. A reminder that the body often knows how to relax before the mind does. And sometimes, all it needs is a steady presence nearby. As purring continues, it begins to soften into the space around it. The sound becomes part of the room rather than something separate from it, like a low hum that belongs where it is, like a rhythm that settles without needing to be noticed. This is where shared stillness takes shape. Purring rests comfortably within moments that require no movement. It accompanies quiet rather than interrupting it. It fills space gently, without pulling attention toward itself. When a cat rests nearby and purrs, the sound blends into the environment. It becomes part of the air, part of the room, part of the moment. It holds a steady presence that does not shift or hurry. Shared stillness emerges when two beings occupy the same space without expectation. There is no exchange required, no gesture needed. The cat remains where it has settled. The purr continues at a pace that belongs to the body producing it. For the human nearby, this can feel grounding in a quiet, unspoken way. The sound offers steadiness rather than direction. It allows the mind to soften rather than engage. This kind of co-regulation unfolds naturally. The body responds to rhythm. The nervous system aligns with consistency. Breathing finds an easy pace. Muscle tension eases gradually. There is no moment that needs to be marked or noticed. The shift unfolds on its own. Shared stillness does not depend on proximity. Distance does not interrupt it. A cat resting across the room can still fill the space with presence. The sound reaches where it belongs. The purr waits patiently within the environment. It does not press forward or pull attention. This waiting is what gives purring its companionable quality. It exists alongside rather than performing. The cat is simply inhabiting its own body. The sound reflects that state. The human happens to share the space. This shared presence removes pressure from the moment. There is nothing to reciprocate, nothing to maintain. The purr carries on whether it is noticed or not. Over time, the sound blends so fully into the environment that it feels inseparable from silence. The mind treats it as part of the background rather than new information. This is often when rest deepens. The absence of novelty allows attention to drift inward. Thoughts loosen their structure. Awareness widens gently. The sound remains, yet it no longer occupies the foreground. This is the state purring supports most naturally. Quiet companionship, steady presence. Across history and culture, cats have often been associated with calm spaces. They occupy rooms without filling them. They keep company without asking for engagement. Purring reflects this same quality. The sound stretches softly across time. It settles rather than punctuates. Shared stillness does not require effort to maintain. It holds itself. If attention wanders, the sound remains part of the space. If sleep approaches, the sound remains part of the space. The rhythm adapts quietly as the body settles further. Purring often accompanies rest without becoming the reason for it. The body slows because it is ready to slow. The sound simply shares the moment, a steady rhythm, a calm presence, an environment that supports ease. For those listening now, this may feel familiar. There is no need to track where you are in the sound. There is no need to listen closely for change. The purr exists comfortably in the background of the mind. Shared stillness feels like space rather than emptiness. Space where nothing needs to happen. Space where nothing needs to be decided. The purr accompanies this space. It rests within it. As time passes, the sound may feel less defined. Awareness settles more deeply. This softening does not need to be held onto. It unfolds at its own pace. In the next section, the sound will be allowed to continue without focus. It may remain present. It may fade into the background. For now, the space can remain exactly as it is. A steady rhythm, a quiet presence, shared stillness, holding gently. There comes a point where the sound no longer feels like something that began. It is simply there. Purring does not announce its arrival, and it rarely marks its departure. It fades into awareness quietly, and it leaves the same way. This is what allows it to continue without effort. When the sound becomes familiar, the mind stops holding on to it. It no longer tracks the rhythm. It no longer waits for change. The purr remains, but attention loosens. This is not loss of focus. It is release of focus. The sound has done what it needed to do. It has settled the space. It has established steadiness. Now it is free to exist without observation. This is often how purring is experienced late at night, when the room is still, when the body has stopped anticipating interruption. The sound blends with the environment, with the hum of distant systems, with the quiet movement of air. It becomes part of the backdrop rather than the scene. When the sound continues like this, it no longer carries information. It does not signal comfort or connection or need. It simply exists as rhythm. The body does not need to interpret rhythm. It knows how to receive it. This is why purring can remain present even as awareness drifts. Even as thoughts soften, even as sleep approaches, the sound does not require participation. You do not need to follow it. You do not need to listen for its edges. It is content to stay where it is. Sometimes, the purr continues for a long time, longer than expected. Sometimes, it fades gradually, so gradually that there is no clear moment when it stops. Both are natural. The sound is not performing. It is not maintaining itself for an audience. It responds only to the body that carries it. When the body shifts, the sound shifts. When the body rests more deeply, the sound may soften. When the body moves, the sound may pause. None of these changes need to be noticed. They do not require meaning. This is part of what makes purring different from many other sounds. It does not insist on being heard to continue. It does not fade because it lacks attention. It exists independently of awareness. As you rest here now, you may notice moments where you are no longer sure whether you are listening closely. Moments where the sound feels distant or diffuse. This is not something to correct. It is a sign that the mind no longer needs to hold the sound in the foreground. When attention releases its grip, rest deepens. The purr does not need to be vivid to be effective. It does not need clarity. Its steadiness is enough. In this way, purring behaves more like atmosphere than sound, more like presence than signal. It fills space without filling thought. This is often when the body begins to let go of the idea of listening altogether. The sound remains, but the experience of listening dissolves. There is no effort required to maintain this state. The purr does not pull you back if attention drifts. It does not react if you stop noticing it. It simply continues, or it doesn't. Both are acceptable. This lack of demand is what allows the sound to coexist with sleep. Sleep does not require silence. It requires safety. A sound that remains steady and predictable does not threaten that safety. It supports it. When the sound continues, it becomes something the body can trust. Not because it promises anything, but because it does not change suddenly. Trust does not require belief. It requires consistency. Purring offers that consistency without asking for anything in return. As this section unfolds, there is no need to stay with the words, no need to follow each sentence. The sound you are imagining or remembering or hearing can carry the rest. Words are becoming less necessary now. The idea of purring does not need explanation anymore. It can simply be allowed to remain or to fade. In the next section, there will be no conclusion to reach, no summary to hold, just rest without explanation. For now, you can let the sound do what it has always done. Continue quietly, or dissolve without announcement. Either way, nothing needs to follow. The rhythm has already done its work. There is nothing left to understand now. No idea needs to be held. No detail needs to be remembered. The sound has already settled into the space it belongs. Purring does not ask for attention at the end. It does not conclude itself. It does not resolve. It simply remains, or it drifts away. Both are enough. If the sound is still present in your awareness, you can let it stay there. If it has softened or faded, you can let that happen too. There is no correct way for this to end. Rest does not need structure. It does not need a closing thought. It arrives when nothing is required. The mind does not need to follow the words anymore. They can pass through or fall away entirely. The body already knows what to do next. Breathing continues on its own. The space around you remains quiet. The moment does not need to change. If sleep is approaching, you do not need to meet it. It will come when it's ready. If wakefulness remains, that's fine too. Stillness does not demand sleep. It only offers permission to slow. Purring has always worked this way. It does not guide. It accompanies. It does not insist. It allows. Now there is nothing left to explore. Nothing left to explain. Only a quiet space, held gently. You can stay here as long as you need, or you can drift elsewhere without noticing when it happens. The sound does not follow. It does not keep track. It simply belongs to the moment it's in. And now, so do you. Nothing more needs to be said. Just rest.